Have you ever wondered what goes on in the mind of a child who prefers solitude to play and books to friends? What could drive an 8-year-old girl to escape the chaos of family life and seek refuge in the silent embrace of a park? In this story, you'll meet Sophia, a child unlike her peers, with eyes that have seen more than most and a heart that longs for something more profound. Sophia might seem like any other child with her slight frame and thick glasses, but her world is more prosperous and far more complex. While other children chase laughter and games, she finds solace in stories. Each book a portal to distant lands where heroes are made and loyalty is tested. Beneath the surface, Sophia's love for books hides a more profound truth, a way to escape the constant arguments that echo through her home. But what happens when a quiet observer of the world makes a connection with someone entirely unexpected? Follow Sophia's journey, where her simple act of kindness in a park will change not just her world, but someone else's world. A tale of solitude, discovery, and unexpected friendship awaits. Curious to find out more? Subscribe to our channel and follow Sophia's heartwarming story as it unfolds. You won't want to miss what happens next. Every day after school, Sophia heads to the same park, following a path worn by her tiny feet. For her, this routine is more than just a habit. It's an escape. Beneath the shade of a grand oak tree, she opens a book and disappears into worlds far removed from her own. The rustling of leaves, the distant chirping of birds, and the gentle hum of the city fade away as she becomes absorbed in her stories. Sophia's home life is filled with tension. Her parents, though loving in their way, argue constantly, leaving her feeling adrift. Books become her refuge, the pages offering comfort and the characters within them providing the companionship she craves. This quiet corner of the park, with its peaceful solitude, is where she feels most at ease, far from the conflicts at home. But as Sophia reads beneath the oak tree, her sharp, observant eyes begin to notice something, or rather, someone. Across the path is a homeless man with a kind face and a large black dog by his side. They are always together, and their bond is evident. Sophia watches them from a distance as the days pass, intrigued by their unspoken connection. The man, Logan, appears rough around the edges, his clothes are worn, and his shoes are full of holes. But there's something about him that draws Sophia in. Maybe it's how he speaks so softly to his dog, or how his eyes, despite the hardship they've seen, still sparkle with a warmth she's never known. His loyal dog, Amelia, is always by his side, wagging its tail enthusiastically whenever Logan throws a stick for it to chase. Their companionship is simple but profound, contrasting Sophia's turmoil in her own life. Logan and Amelia seem to carry the world's weight on their shoulders. But their bond shows that, at times, joy can still be found in the smallest, even in the most challenging moments. Sophia watches them from her bench, captivated by the ease with which they share their lives. In Logan and Amelia, she sees the friendship and loyalty she longs for, but has never truly experienced. It's in their simplicity that Sophia begins to feel a connection, though they have never spoken a word to each other. One day, after watching Logan and Amelia from her usual spot, Sophia decides to do something she's never done before. That morning, her mother had packed a beautiful, shiny apple in her backpack for school. As Sophia holds it in her hands, she begins to feel that this apple could be more than just a snack. She stands up, walks over to Logan's usual bench, and gently places the apple on the seat before quietly retreating to her hiding spot behind the oak tree. Her heart races as she waits. Will Logan notice the apple? Will he accept this small offering? As she hides behind the tree, the suspense builds. Finally, Logan approaches the bench with Amelia by his side. When he sees the apple, he stops, looking around as if searching for the person who left it. With a soft smile, Logan picks up the apple, splits it in two, and shares half with Amelia, just as he always shares everything with his loyal companion. For Sophia, this simple act of kindness fills her with a warmth she hasn't felt in a long time. She realizes that even in her quiet, invisible way, She has made a slight difference in someone's life. This moment sparks something inside her, an understanding that even the smallest gesture can bridge the gap between people. Leaving an apple on Logan's bench is Sophia's quiet ritual from that day on. She carefully chooses the best apple from the kitchen every morning before heading to the park. Every afternoon, she places the apple on the bench and hides, watching from afar as Logan and Amelia enjoy her gift. It's their unspoken bond, one that requires no words but speaks volumes about the power of simple kindness. As the days go by, Sophia notices more about Logan. She sees how tenderly he cares for Amelia and how they share food and their lives. Despite having so little, Logan radiates a quiet strength and compassion that Sophia profoundly admires. In his companionship with Amelia, she sees a model of loyalty and love she's always longed for. And though they have yet to exchange a single word, Sophia feels more connected to Logan and Amelia than anyone else. Her world begins to shift. The park, once a place of solitude, now promises something more. Each day, Sophia looks forward to her quiet acts of kindness. And with each passing moment, she dreams of having a loyal friend. One crisp autumn day, as Sophia prepares to leave another apple on the bench, she notices something different. The usual spot where Logan and Amelia sit is now occupied by someone else, a man in an expensive suit, his posture stiff and his eyes fixed on a watch. Next to him, a bodyguard stands alert, scanning the area with a cold, distant gaze. This sudden change unsettles Sophia. Where is Logan? Where is Amelia? Why is this man sitting in their place? Sophia hides behind her familiar oak tree, watching the scene unfold. The man in the suit appears anxious, checking his watch repeatedly, pacing in short bursts as if waiting for something or someone. The bodyguard, tall and stern, remains silent but vigilant. The atmosphere around the bench feels tense. Nothing like the warmth and simplicity that Logan and Amelia brought to this place. Sophia's mind races with questions. Who is this man? What does he want here? And more importantly, what happened to Logan and Amelia? She squeezes the apple in her hand, feeling a sense of unease settle over her. The park, once her sanctuary, now feels unfamiliar. The next day, Sophia returns to the park, hoping to see Logan and Amelia. But the suited man is there again, sitting in the same spot. He seems even more frustrated today, his fingers drumming on his knee, his expression growing darker each minute. As Sophia watches from a distance, something unexpected happens. The man finally notices her. "Hey, kid," he calls out, his voice surprisingly soft for someone who looks so stern. Sophia freezes, unsure whether to respond. Curiosity and caution battle within her. But eventually, she steps forward, clutching the apple tightly in her hand. "I see you here every day," the man says. "Tell me, have you seen an old man with a black dog in the park recently?" Sophia nods cautiously. "Yes, I have. Every day, but not lately." The man's expression softens, and for the first time, Sophia sees something in his eyes that she recognizes: worry. "That old man," he begins, his voice thick with emotion. "He's my father. We haven't spoken in years. I've been trying to find him. Do you know where he's gone?" Sophia is taken aback. The homeless man with the kind eyes and the loyal dog, Logan, is this man's father? The polished suit, the bodyguards, the air of wealth and success. It all feels like a world apart from the simple, quiet life she had observed from Logan and Amelia. The man, David, begins to share his story with Sophia. Years ago, he had a falling out with his father. Logan, David was young, ambitious, and convinced that business success meant leaving behind the life his father had built. He distanced himself from Logan, chasing wealth, power, and status, all while ignoring the warnings and advice his father tried to give him. "I was too proud," David admits, his voice faltering. "I thought I didn't need anyone, especially not my father. I made mistakes and lost everything at one point. But he sold his business, gave me everything he had to help me get back on my feet. And then he disappeared. I've been searching for him ever since." Sophia listens quietly, her heart heavy with the weight of David's words. She had only seen Logan as a kind stranger in the park, but now she understands there is so much more to his story. Despite all his success, David carries the burden of regret and lost time. It dawns on Sophia that this man, sitting here in his expensive suit, is as lonely in his way as Logan was in his. Moved by David's story, Sophia makes a surprising offer. I see him here almost every day, she says. If he returns, I'll tell him you're looking for him. David looks at her, his eyes filled with hope and doubt. You would do that? He asks softly. You'd help me? Sophia nods, sensing how much this means to him. Yes, I'll tell him. But maybe you shouldn't come here for a while. If he sees you waiting, he might not want to talk. David hesitates, but then slowly nods in agreement. You're probably right. He's been avoiding me for years. He pulls a small card from his pocket and hands it to Sophia. Here, this is my number. If you see him, please call me. With that, David stands up, adjusting his suit as if trying to hide the vulnerability he had just shown. He gives Sophia a final, grateful look before walking away, his bodyguard trailing behind him. Sophia watches them disappear down the park's path, her mind swirling with thoughts. She feels a strange responsibility now, as if she's holding the key to a reunion that might change everything for David and Logan. She turns back to her bench and wonders what will happen next. Will Logan ever return to the park? And if he does, will he be ready to face the sun searching for him? 2 weeks pass, and Sophia returns to the park each day, her eyes scanning the familiar bench, hoping to see Logan and Amelia again. The weight of David's story stays with her, and she can't help but wonder if she'll ever get to reunite father and son. Just when she starts to lose hope, it happens. Logan appears. Sophia arrives at the park on a cool autumn morning, holding an apple as usual. She spots Logan sitting on the bench, his faithful dog Amelia resting by his feet, basking in the warmth of the early sun. A surge of relief and excitement floods her heart. She hesitates for a moment, then gathers her courage and approaches. Good day. Sophia greets him quietly, her voice trembling slightly. Logan looks up, surprised but pleased to see her. Good day to you, he replies with a warm smile. So, you're the one who's been leaving me those apples all this time? Sophia nods, feeling a mixture of shyness and pride. Yes, I've been watching you and your dog, and I wanted to do something kind. Logan chuckles softly. Well, thank you. You've brightened my days more than you know. He pats Amelia gently as she wags her tail in response. The moment is warm and tender, but Sophia knows there is something more important to address. I met someone while you were gone, she says cautiously. Your son, David. He's been looking for you. The smile fades from Logan's face, replaced by a look of weariness and pain. His hand stops petting Amelia, and for a long moment, he's silent. David, Logan finally says, his voice heavy with emotion. I haven't seen him in years. I figured he wouldn't want anything to do with me after everything. Sophia takes a deep breath, knowing how delicate this moment is. He told me everything, she says gently. He's made mistakes, but he's changed. He misses you and wants to apologize. He's been coming here every day, hoping to find you. Logan lowers his head, staring at the ground as if the weight of the past is too much to bear. I don't know if I can face him, he murmurs. I gave up everything for him, and he threw it away. What if he hasn't changed? What if this is just another one of his empty promises? Sophia steps forward, her small frame brimming with unexpected strength. People can change, she says firmly. David regrets what he did and wants to make things right. He's been trying to find you for a long time. I think he deserves a chance to apologize. Logan looks up at her, his eyes filled with doubt and a flicker of hope. Do you think he's changed? He asks, almost as if pleading for reassurance. Sophia nods confidently. Yes, I believe he has. He told me he's ready to make things right and wants to start with you. Logan sighs deeply, then nods slowly. All right, he says, his voice barely above a whisper. Tell him I'll meet him here at the same time tomorrow. The following day, The air is crisp and clear as Sophia returns to the park. She finds Logan seated on the bench, his posture tense but determined. A few moments later, David appears at the far end of the path, strolling, his steps heavy with anticipation and fear. Sophia watches from a distance as father and son meet. There's a long, awkward silence before David speaks. "Dad," David says, his voice thick with emotion. "I don't even know where to begin. I'm sorry for everything. For the mistakes, the hurt, and for disappearing when you needed me most." Logan listens quietly, his expression unreadable. After a moment, he replies, his voice low and measured. "We both made mistakes. Son, I wasn't always the easiest man to deal with. But I'm glad you're here now." David's eyes fill with tears as he steps forward, and to Sophia's relief, Logan stands to meet him. They embrace, tentatively at first, but then tighter as if trying to make up for the years of separation in a single moment. Amelia wags her tail beside them, seemingly sensing the gravity of the reunion. The two men sit on the bench, speaking quietly, their words too far away for Sophia to hear. But from where she stands, she can see the weight of their past slowly lifting, replaced by the promise of a new beginning. Over the next few weeks, the park again becomes a place of peace for Sophia. Logan and David meet regularly, rebuilding their relationship one conversation at a time. The tension that once filled the air has dissipated, replaced by a sense of calm and hope. Sophia continues her daily visits, often greeted by Logan and Amelia. But one day, something changed. As she approaches her usual spot, she finds David sitting with Logan, and this time, they invite her to join them. "Come, sit with us," Logan says warmly, patting the bench beside him. Sophia hesitates, but then smiles and takes a seat. For the first time, she feels like she belongs, not just as an observer, but as someone who helped make this reunion possible. They talk about books, dogs, and life, and Sophia shares her stories. Logan and David listen with interest, and for the first time in her young life, Sophia feels genuinely heard. As they sit together in the golden autumn light, Sophia realizes that the bond between Logan and David has brought them closer and brought her into a new kind of family. The connection between them, forged by small acts of kindness and a shared desire for redemption, is more vital than she ever imagined. The park, once a place of solitude for Sophia, has become a place of belonging, filled with new friendships and a deeper understanding of the world around her. And with each passing day, the apple she places on the bench symbolizes more than just kindness. It represents the quiet power of love, forgiveness, and second chances. If you've been moved by Sophia's story of kindness and reconciliation, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. There are many more stories like this, tales of simple gestures leading to extraordinary changes. Join us and be a part of these heartwarming journeys.